welcome to Date with the Divas. We Divas are here to give you our opinion on all the hot topics that have happened so far this week. Okay, not all of them. We ain't gonna keep you all day. Just the ones that we thought were interesting. So grab your beverage of choice and join us for this conversation. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and hit that little notification bell so you know when our videos pop up, because sometimes they pop up on Fridays, sometimes Saturdays, sometimes Sundays. We like to keep you on your toes. All right, Antrese, go ahead and give us our first topic.
Okay, good evening, Divas. I am going to start the night with some joyful news. Some of our favorite Hollywood legends are expecting babies. We have some babies.
Oh.
Okay. Al Pacino is expecting fourth child with his first
29-year-old.
How old is he? That man old. He grandpa, great grandpa.
He's 80 something.
He's 83.
Girl.
But
Ain't
she-
his
And his
girlfriend like
girlfriend is
29?
29.
Got she's finished? I mean, no.
I'm sitting here like, Jesus.
She's gonna
God.
tell you how old he is in a second.
I'm sorry. We just started
Yeah.
actually.
As we can see from the picture, Mr. Pacino is not a spring chicken anymore. Pacino's rep confirms to Us Weekly that the actor, 83, will soon be a father again. TMZ was the first to break the news, reporting that Alfala, his 29-year-old girlfriend, is 8 months pregnant. There's a
What the
picture.
hell she doing with him?
Oh,
looks like his
wow.
Oh, no, I
grandchild.
can't look at him
Right?
right about now.
That's nasty. I want to know, did they do it the right way or did she just get some sperm? Like, did they have sex? Because I was throwing
Oh.
up.
A
I'm sorry.
turkey baster.
Alfala has been linked to the Oscar winner since April of 2022 after the pair were spotted leaving Felix Restaurant in Venice, California. Earlier
Girl,
this
you
year,
secured your-
she shared glimpses of herself with Al on her Instagram account, and they are expecting a baby next month. You may have also
She just secured herself some money. That's all she did. She didn't secure her. I'm sorry.
She
That
got the
could be- oh,
bag.
Jesus. Yeah, she was just,
Well,
she not throw up.
Carolyn, you may have also heard that Mr. Robert De Niro, at the tender age of 79, is expecting his 7th child with
Mhm.
his girlfriend. I think
How old
Are
is
these
she?
sperms
16?
vital? I mean, are they checking to make sure there ain't nothing wrong with these? I'm sorry.
Right.
Making sure the chromosomes are there. What do we do?
Oh.
What's wrong with it?
this
Mr.
is
De
Robert De
Niro's
Niro's,
girlfriend,
lady.
she's like a Tai Chi expert of some kind. She's 38 and she is expecting as well. He's got
No,
6
she had her baby. This is they showcase
she
it.
had her
on,
baby. Okay, she had her baby. So this
Well, at
is
least she's over 30.
he's
Right.
got 6 kids with previous baby mamas, wives, and girlfriends.
How many wives does he have? Do you know?
Was he?
I think he's got 3. He's been married with his first wife. Wait, let me pull it up. Had it up here.
Which one? Al Pacino or Robert De Niro? You're asking.
Either or.
Oh,
I'm sorry. The 29. Oh, Jesus.
yes, and this
You
is
may make sure the lights are all off.
right.
I
Look
mean,
at
I'm
his
just
kids.
imagining,
His
I'm
kids are
sorry.
literally the same age as his baby mama. Like,
No, they're older than his baby mama.
oh well, yeah.
Why do his kids look very awkward?
They're not used to the spotlight. Oh.
They ain't in the industry.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
Yeah, they do kind of look
God's
awkward.
children.
Give me a second.
What's up with that suit? Did he gain a little weight before he got the tuxedo? I mean, I'm not talking about his weight. It's just how it's fitted.
It
It's not
looks
fitted
right, like
very,
a pregnant
yeah,
belly a little bit. Yeah.
right. Like he waited to the last minute and didn't try it on and realized it was too small.
That's a plain shoot.
Wait, that's
But
how-
yet he can pull this. I'm like, look at her. I'm like,
It's
And
the
then-
money. It's
Oh,
the
well,
money.
what do you
No,
think about
it's the
this?
money.
Are they too old to be having babies? That's the question.
hell to the yeah.
I would say yes.
Oh, how old is too old to have a baby?
80. Like, what you gonna
Right.
do with the baby?
70
Y'all
You're
plus.
not
both
going to
in
do
diapers.
anything with the baby. She is.
No, they're gonna have nurses and nursemaids, and he just gonna be in the corner, dribbling.
Mhm.
She's gonna be wiping
Him
up.
or the baby.
She's gonna be wiping up both of them.
Okay, so De Niro has been married twice. He shares children, Drina and Raphael. Drina's 51, Raphael's 46. So both of these people are older than his current girlfriend.
Wow.
His first wife, Diane Abbott, and 2 children, Elliot, 25, and Helen, 11, with ex-wife Grace Hightower. He's also a father to twin sons, Aaron and Julian, 27, with former girlfriend Tukey Smith.
Okay.
Smith. Okay.
That was the tall
Alrighty
black
then.
lady, right? Tukey Smith.
Oh, she sound like a tall black lady.
So he seems to have them within long-term relationships, and I'm sure he's a very present father.
Well, they grown now. You ain't gotta be that present no more.
He better be present while he can.
Right.
I know they probably like, damn it, could you stop having kids? You dividing the fortune.
Right, that
Yep.
part.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Why do you think these men are continuing to
Because they can.
why would you even want to though at your age?
But how do we know that they were in on it?
that's what I was about to say.
Because they're happy to announce the baby announcement, though. They're not, acting.
No,
sad.
I mean,
Ain't nothing they can do.
Have they physically entered?
Well, I mean, they're of an age to understand that when you enter a woman without protection and you leave something inside of her, you can leave something inside of her. I mean, they're old enough to know how it
Oh
works.
my gosh.
No,
I mean, they
but I'm
should-
saying,
they
who
should-
says that they
Look,
actually
On
We're
trees
working
at their
into
age, they should have vasectomies. They shouldn't be shooting no kind of
Exactly.
sperms.
So they were willing participants in this, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Maybe they're
I
trying
don't
to
want
prove
to
something
seem
to
like
something
themselves.
not in
ageist.
agreement.
I don't want to seem like, but you know what? In my mind, I'm just like, men can do that. Men can do that.
Yeah. I feel like maybe they're trying to prove something to themselves by having these babies so much
Exactly.
older in life. And they're also like leaving a younger legacy. So like they're still having trails on themselves.
Pieces of them later.
Right.
Well,
Maybe
I mean,
That's what grandchildren are for.
Right.
And great grandchildren.
Which you probably already
like,
have.
that's your great grandpa. They're gonna be like, "That's your great grandpa."
Michelle, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say we can't completely take out the women in this equation. I mean, you don't know if the women are like, hey, you're 80 and I love you and I'd like to have a piece of you, live on.
Right.
Well, we
Because
know the
okay,
women are
Antrice
gonna have
just said that Al Pacino was in Robert De Niro was in long-term relationship. It's not like he's jumping from bed to bed to bed, or like Nick Cannon,
Mhm.
9 months later another baby with another baby mama. So maybe he loves this lady and he wants to give her something to remember him by. I don't know, I'm
You
just
give her a
saying.
business or something, like,
I was gonna say, he's
Yes,
only
but
been with
I'm
her
saying
since last year.
women-
He ain't been long term with her because she 8 months. She got
Yeah,
pregnant right
but
away.
he's 80. What's long term when you're 80? Like,
No, they went through quarantine together.
I thought it was
Pacino and
2022.
his
Maybe I misheard
girlfriend,
that.
whatever.
That's when they were first
Quarantine
spotted
together. He's
together.
known her for a while.
I don't know how long they've actually been
Oh,
together.
okay. Sorry, my misinformed fact. Don't quote me on that. I thought she meant
First
that.
spotted them in April of 2022.
Okay. Yeah, if they went to quarantine, they spent a lot of time together because that was
I mean,
some
she was like
times.
25 then if he quarantined with her. Like, my God.
Right. Do you think
Like, how
that
did he
there's-
find her?
Yeah.
Was she a server? Did she strip for him? I mean, I'm not saying how
Well,
did she meet him?
Antrice,
They didn't go into
I don't
that
know if you
on
looked it up or not,
interview.
Antrice, but I did for the who's the first guy? Was it
Al
Robert?
Pacino.
Al
Pacino.
Pacino, right. His wife, or I don't know if she's wife, but his baby mama, she actually has a master's degree, I feel like I read, and she's a producer in the film industry.
Nice.
And you say this why?
Thank
she
you. I
has,
was just
what
about
they
to say,
do.
so she's
Because
29.
she's not a
Answer the
stripper, like I
question.
said, or a hostess.
I think she's trying to say she's not an Instagram model, right? Like she's
Oh,
doing
Oh,
something.
She's
to
got some
work.
substance.
She's relevant.
again, the point is the age difference.
Yeah, the
I
age
don't care
difference
what she does.
ridiculous. She can only be with him for his coins. I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah.
And what
Now,
kind
now
of
wait,
quality?
I'm
Like,
gonna say Al Pacino, yeah, it could be for more than the coins. He's not really an entirely horrible looking man at his age.
He just
She's
old.
28.
He's what?
He's not hardly good looking at his age either.
28, Nicole. What does she look like to her when he's
What do they have in common?
Okay, so what is the threshold? Is like 20 years to differential too much, or is a
No.
30-year differential too much? I mean,
Yes.
what is the cutoff of? I mean, because I believe Catherine, whatever her name is,
Jones?
McPhee, she
Oh.
what's his
David Foster.
David Foster, right? He's
Yes.
he was in his
Yes.
70s and she's very young. And she too is younger than his daughters. So I mean, it's not that uncommon. Not that I think it's great or even
Anna Nicole Smith, was it?
Oh.
yeah. So
we think Anna Nicole was there for love?
No, no.
I don't think so.
Listen, I'm just telling you what I see.
To answer your question, I think if somebody's old enough to be your father, okay. If they're old enough to be your grandfather, like what is really going on here?
Right. I agree.
Now that you put it like that, and what, you're older than his kids.
Right. How is the interaction with his kids,
younger, I
and
mean.
grandkids and stuff, you know? How's the family gatherings going for you? Like,
Technically, she could be his great because think about it. If her dad had
20
had
years.
her at 18 or 20, and then he had a kid at 30, technically could be her great grandfather, not just her grandfather.
Yeah, like he's deep into the grandfather years for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great grandfather. I'm gonna say great grandfather. Not let's just even
I didn't do the math that deep, but
I feel bad
54
for
year difference.
the children because
he was
They're gonna-
54 when she was born, you guys.
Crazy.
Mm.
That's almost pedophile. You know what I mean? Like if she wasn't over 18, we'd be like pedophile, okay?
Mm.
It's just up to teach his own,
Right.
but it's just like, ooh.
Bro.
Lava,
Anybody
your
else have
facial
any day?
expressions, what I feel.
Any more babies born? Can we get
No.
some more like
Oh, just
age
the-
appropriate babies?
No, just the keys. That was the story. So viewers, jump in the comments and let us know what you think. Do you think this is appropriate, to each their own, or is this gross? Does it disgust you and make you want to throw up in your mouth? Let us know. How do you feel about 79 and 83-year-old men having babies with women young enough to be their granddaughter? What are your
Great
thoughts?
granddaughter. I'm sorry. I just need to make that clear. It could be great granddaughter.
And then another question is, at what age? Okay, so I'm just thinking about this whole pedophile thing. Like, at what age does it stop being pedophile type? Like,
Well, they're adults.
when
They're
both
adults now. They're adults. So, it's not
I would
pedophiles.
choose another word besides it's scheming. It's
creepy.
It's creepy. Yeah, it becomes very squeamish and creepy.
Yeah, like
Mm.
imagine what they
mean-
look like at night.
Oh, just
No,
stop.
thank you.
Let's
I already
go on to
told
another
you.
No,
topic.
ma'am.
Entrees,
Let's
don't be
just-
turn off the lights and hold. Oh Lord. Oh, praise God. Thank you, Jesus. Oh no. Mm-mm. Sorry.
Let's move on.
Okay, moving on. Switching gears. So we've talked about this couple before. We've covered this story, but you know, it's developing. Kim Zolciak and Kroy Biermann, as we know, are embroiled in a contentious divorce. And as we talked about before, they are living in the same home with their 4 very young children. They are, in addition to each of them filing for custody of their kids, they are asking for custody of the home that they also share, that neither one of them has vacated. Well, Radar Online is reporting that the police have been called to the home at least 3 times.
dang.
Radar Online has exclusive access to the police report. So we've gotten some details about
Okay.
one. So according to one police report obtained by Radar Online, police officers from the small city of Milton, Georgia, responded to the home around 10:23 p.m. on May 2nd for a dispute labeled on the 911 dispatch as domestic physical. I guess that's how they say it in Atlanta. Caller's statement was husband has been physically and verbally abusive. Biermann, who's Kroy, greeted the officers at the door and claimed that the former Real Housewives of Atlanta star was refusing, quotes, to leave the master bedroom when he wanted to take a shower. Nothing.
Wait, that sounds
Y'all
so
ain't got another
stupid.
bathroom?
That big old mansion, that has to be more than one bathroom, dude.
Right.
Come on now. He's just
So
trying to be
which
petty.
bed
to
are
use
they
that-
sleeping in different bedrooms? Yeah, like that's kind of who has the master bedroom?
That's unclear,
Apparently he does.
but he thought he did that night. Nothing physical occurred, Biermann told officers, noting that the children were asleep at the time of the ruckus. Zolciak, however, told the police that Biermann began shouting at her and telling her to leave. But when she tried to exit the bathroom, he would stand in the doorway to block her and kind of chest bump her. She reported that these types of incidents had happened over the years, but that she had not wanted to call the police because they were famous and she didn't want it out there. That these
Wait a minute. Pause. Is her physical abuse just chest bumps only?
I mean, he's a football player though, so
Okay.
it's got to be a little intimidating, right? If a football player is chest bumping you. I mean,
I
that's
mean,
a
who knows
question.
where it's gonna lead?
Is that not physically intimidating? No.
But if it's happened over the years, you would think that we've gotten progressively worse over the time, but it hasn't been, whatever. Mhm.
Okay, so Zolciak acknowledged, quote, nothing physical occurred on that date, but alleged Biermann had prevented her from calling 911 in the past by snatching her phone. She was advised that Kroy could be charged with false imprisonment for keeping her against her will and obstructing from making the call. She was unaware that she could call involving those offenses. Zolciak told the police, that's when she told the police that she had called previously in the past. So I guess the police warned Biermann that he could be charged the next time, and the couple agreed to keep separated for that night. So the second incident erupted 6:49 p.m. 2 days later, when Zolciak called police accusing Biermann of locking away her jewelry and a designer purse worth $175,000 in the home's basement safe. During questioning, Biermann admitted to responding police officers that he was allegedly attacked by the reality star, claiming he had audio recordings to prove it. Kroy was then advised that Kim had punched him in the back of the head during an earlier altercation concerning the disputed property. So I guess he seized some of her valuables and went downstairs and locked them in the basement, and she got physical with him trying to get her stuff back. Biermann told the officers he didn't have any visible injuries or evidence to prove that Kim had caused any injuries to him other than the recording of the incident. That May 4th scuffle erupted during a time when Zolciak vehemently argued the designer purse and jewelry belonged to her. Kroy said, no, this is marital property. He told the officers that she was a compulsive gambler, that they were involved in a divorce, and that this was, according to his lawyer, marital property.
You sound like a punk. I'm sorry.
Well, wait a minute. How's he a punk though?
After some prodding from police officers, Biermann retrieved the items from the safe and returned them to Zolciak. Meanwhile, Zolciak took the stuff, went to her white Range Rover with her personal belongings, purses, glasses, handbags, and other items of value in an apparent attempt to keep Biermann from seizing them from her. Zolciak even begged officers to remain on the scene to prevent her ex from stopping her. In retaliation, the former NFL player whipped out his cell phone camera to record the event.
This sounds like a scene at a casino. Sorry, my bad.
Right. But he does have a point. That's almost what she's doing is almost what, some men would
She
do when they're
did.
trying to hide assets and money before that, going to court for divorce and stuff. She's trying to hide those property things because she doesn't want to give up the value of that money to help pay off their debt. They have joint debt. So
They owe a lot of money.
Right.
She's waiting for the court to divide the property as is proper. He doesn't get to take it and decide what.
Right.
not gonna give it up willingly though.
That's why I said he's a punk.
But
Does
I
like
thought
he gonna
he just said that she's a compulsive gambler.
Right.
And so he's
Doesn't matter.
afraid. It does matter. If she's gonna
No,
go
not right
pawn
now.
off that stuff,
Until the court divides that
yes,
property.
but
I think
But
what
he's
Michelle is
holding
saying is that
on
she
to
could
it.
sell the stuff and then gamble
Yeah.
the money away when there's money that they owe.
and he is trying to hold it so the courts can properly.
But if there's no court order, well, never mind. If there's no court order, he doesn't have that right. The court gets to decide where the property goes. Now, he can bring that up in court and say, yes, you had X, Y, Z, but the court doesn't care what you did with your property until you go in to court.
But if that's the case, then women shouldn't be mad at men when they,
Right.
have their second condo that they try to hide from their wives. Like, they wouldn't be sneaky about it if it wasn't wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
But
Well,
she's
no,
not,
once-
but she's
trying
not
to hide
hiding.
assets and stuff.
Once they go to court, they have, like, if they hid something, it all gets disclosed. So he has
Right.
pictures of all that stuff. He could disclose it.
Mhm.
Even if she sells it, it still will be put as value on, I mean, when they go through the dispute, similar to like if a man was trying to hide a condo, he can hide it, but once it's just, identified, it's going to be,
But it's
up to the judge
easier
to
to
determine.
evaluate
It's that
stuff.
she might sell stuff and then gamble it away, and now it's gone. I think that's what.
Right,
Michelle-
because you can't get that money back after that.
Again, irrelevant. Having.
But I
being
mean,
a
I was
child
thinking
of
from
a
the
It
very
might
house
be
nasty-
irrelevant, Nicole, but guess
being
what?
a-
That's what his
being a
mindset was thinking, I'm
child-
sure.
Being the child of a very nasty divorce, I'm telling you, it's irrelevant.
Okay, so Kim and Kroy engaged in several verbal disagreements, which included Biermann putting his attorney on speakerphone so that his estranged wife could hear the definition of marital property. So I guess the lawyer was explaining to her that what she was doing was out of order. At some point during the fray, the officer had to admonish the dueling duo for engaging in the verbal fight in front of their shell-shocked children.
Mm.
So there was a third incident.
I think they need to be removed. Both need to be removed from the house because they can't stand each other too much. Like,
While preparing the 5-page police report, there was another call to 911 at 10:42 p.m. to report that so Biermann called the police to report that Zolciak was using his credit card,
ooh,
sparking another dispute over whether the card was marital property.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, no offense,
How
it was
about
his
being
credit
petty?
card. He need to call and turn it off. He ain't smart. That's when, as
Yes.
soon as you split
No,
up,
you
or
guys,
go
when
off
you
of-
institute a proceeding, a divorce proceeding, both parties can't go around canceling everything, even
Mm,
like insurances and
Right.
things like that. You guys need to, it has to stay the way it
way it
is,
is.
status quo. So you can't go selling property just because you think it's yours.
Exactly.
I didn't say selling. I'm just saying there should be some block, cancel all cards so nobody can charge.
right,
But
but
what if you
can't
need
do
your
that
You're
either.
card
incurring
to
more debt.
go to the grocery store, Marilyn?
You still get to live,
No.
Maryland. And a caveat to
But
what
do
I
you
said,
have
I
to
forget
charge on a
they're in
credit card?
Georgia.
Use money out your bank account.
Okay,
Maybe
so
they
at
don't have
1:19
money in the bank account.
At 1:19 a.m., it goes on that. So that call came in at 10:42. She's got my credit card. At 1:19, Zolciak called 911 to report she had returned to the house to retrieve medications from her bedroom, but Biermann had allegedly barricaded himself inside and was refusing to open the door. He told the police officers, "I placed the medication in the hallway." When Zolciak called the police again, this time claiming some of her meds were missing.
At
they-
this point, I'd press charges against them for like,
That's what I was
Wasting
thinking.
there are
police
real
time.
people, there are people who got real issues going on.
Yeah,
Real people dying, real people getting
They need
shot.
to make them
people
both
been having
leave that
real
house.
domestic violence
see, that's what I was
disputes.
saying. Yeah.
I'm pressing charges against y'all.
The police finally suggested that Ms. Zolciak call an ambulance to transport her to the hospital, to stop calling them. She instead decided to sleep in another room. So Divas, the
After
last,
all that,
the
oh,
last-
I'll just go down the hall.
the last time we talked about this, I was like, what is this newfangled thing about divorcing somebody and living in the same house with them? It seems to
Not
me-
new, not new.
That's what you told me, Nicole. But I guess my question tonight is this a good idea? If you're divorcing someone and it's contentious,
It don't sound like it. It
Yeah.
don't sound like it for anybody. Like y'all
It
can't
doesn't
afford the
sound
house.
good, but you know what? If they both broke and ain't got no place to go,
doesn't she have the townhouse Big Papa bought her?
Pardon?
Doesn't she have the townhouse Big Papa bought her? I think she does.
Somebody said that.
forgot about
Maybe
that.
somebody's in it.
know.
She rented it to somebody, so
Yeah,
she can't
maybe.
evict them. I don't know. I'm just making up stuff.
Yeah, but if they don't have nowhere else to go, they should have removed their stuff from each bedroom that they weren't going to be in anymore, and be like, okay, this is
Right.
your side of the room.
Divide the house up.
It's like a big
Yep.
old mansion. Come on now, there's got to be more than one master bedroom. Hello?
Or a
Like,
guest house. Like somebody got the guest
Yeah.
house. Like
A pool house. Somebody can go in.
Something.
Who's going in there
exactly.
though? Who's going in?
Y'all, y'all
They
sleeping on
arguing
it.
about that. They're gonna fight on who going in. No.
Yeah.
Everything. And they probably don't want to leave the house if they're both fighting for custody of the children.
Yes.
Mhm.
And they're fighting for custody of the house as well. I mean,
Well, the house usually goes with the custodial parent. Well, again, I'm from California. I don't know what's going on in Georgia.
But you got to figure in they can't afford it, so it's like
Right.
somebody gonna have to
Just
go.
sell it and divide, pay off your debt and keep it moving.
Yeah, y'all both go get an apartment.
But they are really wasting taxpayers' money though. I thought them offers all the money.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're real women with real domestic
Send them a
problems. You calling me
bill.
over some damn pills? Bye.
Thank you.
Right. How many? Like that was like
Send
what,
them a
4
bill.
calls?
she got my credit card. Like,
Now that's
take
being
it,
a true
cover.
Karen for real. She has my credit card. Why you what? Y'all married? Look, bye. You know, that's being a Karen, a married Karen for sure. Like both
So
of them.
whose side are you guys on in this? Who do you believe?
Neither. They're
Neither.
both fools.
They're both petty. They're both ridiculous.
I feel
Stupid.
sorry for the children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that was the
They're
reason.
not putting the kids first. And I think that's the problem. I think sometimes with divorce, people need to take a step back and put away your personal feelings about the other person and think about your kids. Put your
Not
kids first.
sometimes, all the time.
Mhm.
But I read something that said when this first happened that they both claimed they were staying in the same house to not disrupt the lives of their children.
That might have
was
been
like-
their initial intention.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, they've disrupted the lives of the kids by now with all this
Right.
They've
fighting.
disrupted the
police are
lives
coming
of the neighborhood.
That
Everybody.
part. For sure.
Well, Tom Sandoval and Ariana Maddox from Vanderpump Rules are sharing a home, but apparently they communicate through assistants and,
Okay.
and they have no contact with each other. So maybe Kim and Kroy need to hire someone or bring some people in.
Family members. They can't afford to pay nobody.
I was like, this has got to be volunteers.
Yeah, it needs to be family members.
I think it's too contentious right now and beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
In related news, apparently Kim Zolciak is begging for her job back at Real Housewives of Atlanta. She would
Of
like to
course she is.
as a full-time housewife and get her peach back. Do we want to see Kim back on the Real
Nope.
Housewives?
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Didn't she only do
don't
one
think-
season?
Oh, no,
I don't think she could be any
No.
worse than the rest of them
Like
that are
5 or
on there.
6.
Oh, I didn't realize she was on that.
Yeah, Kim's an OG. She started the franchise.
Does she get along with anybody? Does she still get along with Sheree?
Sheree and her are really good friends.
Okay.
She
She
and
don't know
Faith-
nobody else on that show, so no.
Well,
That's how
maybe
I-
Sheree should let her come
minute.
live with her.
Wait a minute, are you sure she and Sheree? Wasn't there an incident about a bug in a bathroom at somebody's house?
that was
wasn't
Nene.
Sheree.
was Nene.
That was Nene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
She is
thanks for
correct.
correction.
She and Portia got along, but Portia's no longer on the show. And she and Phaedra got along, but Phaedra's no longer on the show.
Portia's moving on. She's a celebrity on Mars.
Well, this brings
Yes.
to our third topic of the evening, which is our favorite reality show, Real Housewives of Atlanta. We have covered it a few times in the past, but there was a report today that they're currently in season 15. The fourth episode aired on Sunday, and there was a report today that came out that Sunday's episode produced series low ratings for
Ooh.
the franchise. For context, Divas, there was a time when Real Housewives of Atlanta was the highest rated show on Bravo. They were getting 3 million plus viewers. Now, those were back in the glory days when Nene and Phaedra and Cynthia and Portia and like the whole crew was there.
Mhm.
For context, before I tell you what the ratings were on Sunday, I'm gonna give you some context. Season 12, which was Nene Leakes' last season, the season premiere was 1.9 million viewers, okay? And so the average for that season was 1.8 million viewers. Season 13, which was Portia's last season, the season debuted at 1.4 million viewers. So there was a slight decrease from Nene's absence to the following season where it was 1.4. The series average was 1.25 that season. So this current season premiered at 834,000 viewers.
They didn't even get to 1 million.
Not even 1 million.
What about, did you report last year's or just the one with Portia? Was Portia on last year?
Year, without Nene, Portia, or Cynthia, the season debuted at 933,000. That was season 14 last season. And the series average was 950,000. So this current season debuted at 834,000. So it was another drop from last season's premiere. But Sunday's episode received 657,000 viewers, which is a series low. And since season 12, when they had 1.9, the series has lost 2/3 of their audience. And so people have been wondering today, what the heck is going on? Like, why have people abandoned this show? Is it savable?
Well, let me tell you a few things. Well, first, it was holiday weekend, so I don't know why they're not accounting that into fact. I didn't even know they had a new episode. It was a holiday, but
for context, the finale of Succession got 900,000 viewers.
It was Carnival in Atlanta. That's the excuse. Everyone was in the streets.
right, that's what I'm saying. It was a holiday, people out traveling.
It was the number 6 cable show that night. So people were watching other shows that night. It got less viewers than TLC's 90 Day Fiance, which it's always outperformed that show. So there has been a drop in the audience.
Well, one of the main reasons I think is because I know some people who stopped watching it because it's the same arguments 90% of the time, dragged out all season long. Just like we talked about with Candy and Todd, the same stuff that they expose with each other about Mama Joyce. And I'm like, we get tired of the same stuff, the same drama. I always say they need to revamp the whole Atlanta Housewife cast and start with some fresh faces. Like, love Candy, but all she does now is promote her businesses. Well, I'm over it. Like,
yeah. Lavelle, what do you think?
I'm just kind of over all of it.
see,
We need a fresh
Cast.
yeah, a fresh, like revamping like New York did,
yeah.
which I'm interested to see how that'll turn out. I'm over the old.
Do you guys think the reboot should be younger women or just new women?
New women.
New in general for
I
me.
think new women.
Yeah, I think it has to do too much with age too much because some, but yeah, like even with Nene and Cynthia season and Portia seasons, even then it was getting draining and tiring then because the same stuff, the same behavior, and the same clicks.
I would love to see like some glamour on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I feel like that Real Housewives should really be about luxury and I want to see people live a life that I don't have access to. I want to see yachts.
Life of opulence.
Yes, I want opulence. So I would love if they reboot this series for them to really get some women with coins.
Yeah.
Like
There's a couple in Atlanta, so I don't want, I guess people, but then at the same token, you got to find the right people who don't mind having their lives put on a microscope.
And that might come in with younger people. I think as you get older, you have families and stuff, and you start being a little bit more conscious of what you put on camera. So there may be a point to kind of, if you recast it, dropping the age group.
Or just mix it up because we don't want it to be Love and Basketball.
Mix it up.
So.
I was gonna say, yeah, you got to mix it up, and then depends on how young you go. They may not be established to have that luxury life yet, unless they're Instagram models or something. I mean, advertise. They may not be successful yet.
I guess just like the same age as the cast were when they started, but I guess they didn't really have it all then yet.
They did
too. But I guess housewife, find some people that are really married to somebody. Yes, married.
They're really wives.
Yeah.
There have to be like some athletes' wives that
Right.
that live in Atlanta. I know.
Remember, there was a time we had like a Deshaun Snow. She made
Right.
one
Lisa
season,
Wu.
and she was out, right, because they didn't produce enough drama. So now they have an overload of drama, and they don't know what to do with it.
Not
They
really,
don't,
this
everybody,
seems
those have,
manufactured.
yeah.
I think it's
And if they
I
can't
agree.
find the people in Atlanta, I think they should go to another state. What about Washington, D.C. or some other places that
Potomac.
have a lot of Black affluent people?
Potomac for that.
Potomac. Potomac is
But they're not
DC.
housewives, they're all doctors. So you tell
No, Potomac, Housewives of Potomac.
Potomac, Housewives of
Yeah.
Potomac.
Oh, okay.
What about what? But
Not married to
wasn't-
medicine.
No, that's
I did
Isn't the next? They said the next big. Go
that
ahead.
the new city is New Orleans.
ooh, okay. That'd be good.
That'll be
That
interesting.
sounds
Oh,
like
yeah, I
it
did
could,
hear about
that could be slightly. It could go either way. Depends on how. I mean, because there's some luxury there, but there are also some ghetto. So
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to see.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
Or viewers, drop down in the comments and let us know. Have you been happy with this season or the last couple of seasons with Real Housewives of Atlanta? Do you want to see something new? Should it be rebooted? Should they start over? Or should they bring back the OGs? Do you want to see Nene
No, I'm sorry.
and Phaedra and Kim?
Okay, yeah, I second that. I'm not a
Like,
Nene
you didn't bring
fan.
that up in the question to us, so you should not be bringing it up to them. You didn't clear that question. You didn't clear it.
no.
But a lot of people do
backwardsies.
want to see Nene. Oh, I'm sorry, what'd you say, Marilyn?
I said no
A lot
going
of
backwards.
people.
They should just give Nene her own show.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. They got to do something though. They got to save this. I think we need Atlanta in the franchise. So Bravo has their work cut out for us, but hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more, hit that notification button so that you can get notified whenever we upload. We drop a new video once a week, as Marnita shared with you. And let us know how you feel about what we discussed, and if there's some topics that we haven't covered that you want to hear more about, let us know that too. And have a wonderful evening, everybody.
Bye.